Let me just talk a bit about Steve Nash. Rotimi Steve Nash. Interestingly, he's a fantastic football player as well. So, I mean, soccer, that's what they call it over there. Fantastic soccer player. But we saw Steve Nash in his prime for the Phoenix Suns. Fantastic player, back-to-back MVPs. But for me, I think it kind of flies under the radar a bit. And when people are talking about great basketball players, no one is really talking about Steve Nash. But if you know that this guy is an absolute legend of the game.
When I first heard his name growing up, I thought it was related to Johnny Nash. So I thought it was a musician,
right.
blah, blah, blah. But until I saw his pictures and all, and then oh, okay, he's actually a basketball player. And then I started watching. Yeah, a brilliant player, no doubt. But the fact that he's not, he doesn't have that big name compared to the ones we knew, Michael Jordan's, the Hakeem Olajuwons and co, doesn't make him less of a big player or a legend. So I think the fact that he also played with all these greats at that time, he also qualifies to be called a great, and it's no surprise that he's been referred to as one.
Interesting. I mean, one of those guys, for me, I've seen, I mean, his handles are ridiculous, and his handling of the ball is just almost second to no. We also saw Grant Hill as well, too. Fantastic player, but his story is more like that of what could have been, because in his prime, he was injured a lot. I remember then he was supposed to team up with Tracy McGrady in Orlando, but he just couldn't get on the court, and knee injuries. And so some people will say Grant Hill didn't really go on to, fulfill his potential, but he's just done enough to be an Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
No doubt. I think it's fair enough for Grant, especially considering his story.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't agree any less about these stellar names making it, and some of their careers amazing. They have stats that people dream of having, and that's very, very remarkable. Let's talk about comments being made about another remarkable person, another person we've talked about earlier, who's, is been on the steady rise, and a lot of people are hoping to see him do some of the things that he's done in times past. Guys, I want to bring you back and talk a little about Tiger Woods before we have someone else comment about Tiger Woods. Rotimi, you have a lot of young people now. When you say Tiger, they say Tiger who? They read about him, they see him, but, all the things we talked about Tiger, it looks like a mirage. A lot of people, even his kids, tell him, Dad, you're great, but we've not seen you do it.
They should watch documentaries or get highlights and then know why we all are talking about Tiger Woods. Apart from the fact that he's a black American, that actually...
Straight for that kind of sport.
Yeah, like, okay, so we can get someone like this.
Someone that we can relate to.
That we can relate to, do this kind of stuff in this particular sport. It's an elite sport, and then you get someone like Tiger starting at a very, very early age, and then going on to create records, win titles, win majors. It's just like anything he touches then, turns to gold. And that's why Tiger, became a household name. And then when he got into that scandal, or when he found himself in the scandal, that also still made him a bit popular. Yeah, but for the wrong reasons.
All right.
So you look at all the story, the good, the bad, probably the ugly.
He's had it all.
And now he's had it all. And now probably is gradually erasing it. And then we want to know the Tiger, the one that has the good now.
Coming full circle.
That's what we're waiting for.
Let's hear Serena Williams talking about Tiger Woods, how remarkable his comeback has been.
Yeah, I feel like he's on his way back, and he's been coming back for all his back issues. It's been a disaster, but boy, he never gave up, and it's inspiring, actually. I don't think a lot of people really know how bad it was. And I'm not at liberty to talk about it, but it definitely makes me realize that, okay, we're definitely going to be able to I can definitely do my best, and if he can too.
All right, welcome back. Let's come home now. Well, it's a bit home away from home. Let's talk about Golden Eaglets now. Rotimi, let's talk about this one. The headlines have been about the MRI, but that's not the talking point this morning. Let's talk about the performance yesterday, coming back from an opening defeat. I mean, to get a good result against the Ivorians. It's really heartwarming.
Yeah, really heartwarming, and that good result have actually boosted their chances of playing in the semi-finals.
Space.
Yeah, because what it means is even if Burkina Faso, whatever happens in the game between Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire, if Cote d'Ivoire have to win, they probably have to win by as much as 5-0 or 6-0. I don't think that will happen anyway. So whichever way you look at it, whether Burkina Faso wins or Cote d'Ivoire wins at the weekend, the Golden Eaglets have done enough to play in the semis. Yes, you did mention that they lost in the first game against Burkina Faso. Coming back against the Ivorians, I felt it was going to be pretty difficult. But in the first 6 minutes, they were 1-0 up. In 30 minutes, it was 4-0. Because I saw the game and I'm like, okay, brilliant stuff. Let's enjoy this. Despite the firepower, in quote, by the Ivorians, because they were, at some point in the first half, they were really pressing hard. The defense still kept their shape. They were able to deal with, especially the area balls, because that was what the Ivorians were trying to use, the wing plays and all. And then when they send it in, you have defenders, to clear the lines. Yes, a penalty was awarded to them in the second half. Leave the referee, in his opinion, that was a penalty. So let's just move on. 5-1. The goals have put the Golden Eaglets in a very, very solid position to qualify. So I still say that whatever happens in the game between Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire, I think they've done enough to play in the semis.
And I put it to you that it's also very safe if Burkina Faso wins. That leaves us out of all of this.
Because I don't think the Ivorians will score 5 or 6. No.
And you need two teams to qualify.
You need two teams to qualify for the semis. So it's still pretty close. Don't forget, it's not about semi-finals. It's about winning this particular championship.
It's still a long way to go.
Yeah, so it's very difficult, actually. The host nation, we knew what they did to us at the last under-17 qualifiers, this same event.
Yeah.
I remember going for the second leg, and we were told, just forget, you are not going to anywhere. So it's still there's still Ghana in the mix. There's still Niger in the mix.
There's still Togo as well.
Togo might not be a force, but there's still Niger, the host nation, who are the last Nations Cup. And then you still have Ghana.
You agree with people who say, we don't have a hedge at under 17 anymore. There's no fear factor. Niger can stand to us toe-to-toe, all of those countries. Is it true? Or it's we that are not getting our acts together?
I think we've decided to get our acts right in the last 2-3 years. But for the shenanigans away from the field, and that's what probably a lot of African countries have to correct. It's not a do-or-die thing at this stage. Just, ensure development for your football.
Ensure there's progression.
Ensure there's progression. Create the right ambience. Don't impart, in the lives of these young boys,
win
at all cost syndrome. It doesn't help them, really. But away from the shenanigans, I think in the last 2-3 years, we've been on track with the way we've been monitoring our age grade guys. And I think it's only fair on the NFL.
On track with, once in a while, a bit of a deviation. We're still having MRI.
Yeah, the MRI is pretty weird. You remember the situation of the MRI some years ago, where
a couple of twins.
Are they twins? Siblings now, where the MRI picked the elder and knocked off or took out the younger. So it's all about the MRI doesn't actually determine your age, but it's okay. It puts you in check. Yeah. At least the captain of this current side couldn't even make it to Niger due to the MRI. It doesn't mean he's overaged and all of that. So it's pretty decent.
Shouldn't you be doing your MRI yourself so that the coach doesn't have to worry that when they get to Niger, all of this things will happen?
Oh, well, that's why you have a pool of talent coming to this stage, as in at the under-17 stage, especially at the under-17 stage. So even if you have the MRI knockouts on players, you shouldn't be bothered, really.
Okay. All right, that's it for the Golden Eaglets. They're still in the competition. They still have a very good chance of winning the Waffle Zone and qualify for the under-17 African Cup of Nations. Let's step up now. A huge step up to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They're also trying to qualify for the continent's biggest competition. They take on Seychelles tomorrow, and the vibes we're getting from camp is the Super Eagles are very, very confident of victory in this game. And I was telling Yemi earlier on that there's a very thin line between confidence and being outright cocky, and you go on there and you get stunned by your opponents. Do you have this? Do you have any fears that perhaps the Eagles might be taking Seychelles lightly?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We don't have. We have a bunch of young players who wants to deliver, who wants to impress, who wants to prove a point, who wants to show to the coach that, you know what, thank you for the World Cup experience. We can give you more. Thank you, Nigerians, for supporting us. We can also give you more.
Right.
So the complacency angle, I don't think it's in the team now. As far as I'm concerned, they've been training well.
Are you saying that because it's the Seychelles?
I'm not saying that because it's the Seychelles. I'm saying that because we've seen the Super Eagles at the World Cup. It is time for Genotro and his technical team to deliver and prove to us that there's been a progression since 2016. What we saw from 2016 to Russia 2018 was a bit of, how will I put it now? Not cooling, but it was a bit of maybe taking baby steps, trying to build, trying to organize, trying to do a lot of homework or background work with this particular team. So, and then we've seen all that. That ensured that we got to the World Cup finals. So that also ensured that we participated at the World Cup. So there's a whole lot, really, that Raw has learned, you know, on the job with this team from 2016. Now is the time for us to see how well does the Super Eagles play. Are we the free-flow kind of team? Do we play expansive football? Or are we still going to play that KG content kind of football? So, and there's a whole lot to look forward to seeing tomorrow from 1:30.
A lot to look forward to. Let me bring you back to what you said earlier. But we need to go
on a very quick timeout.
We'll come back. I'll get the thoughts of Rotimi Akindele on the players that need to prove a point in tomorrow's game against the Seychelles.